I mean, who's the most long-winded person here?
You.
You,
No.
100%.
What
I talk
What
to
did you
them.
say,
I
Haley?
interrupt you guys too much. I need to shut up. But
When you have a
when it's
segment,
Joe's
Joe,
topic, yeah, Joe
yeah,
takes off.
you just it's just like
Okay.
there's
I
no
spread
end
mine
to the
out.
road.
Welcome back to another exciting edition of Rake Your Position, where four lifelong friends are living out the dream from the comfort of the chairs. I am Aaron, the host. Squat up, boys.
Even your mic didn't want to hear that. It like cut out when you got loud. Whisper it. Yeah, I'm Joe the groundskeeper. I want to give some motivation to the guys out there in the slump. Maybe maybe some kids from my team. If you're in a slump, I want you to remember what the famous MLB player Mookie said. Mookie Betts? No, not Mookie Betts. Mookie Wilson from the Mets. He said, and I quote, "When I'm in a slump, I comfort myself by saying, if I believe in dinosaurs, then somewhere they must be believing in me. And if they believe in me, then I can believe in me." And then I bust out.
You got
That's
you
real.
got Paul Goldsmith's digits there. You might want to send that to him.
He obviously not believing.
Talking about.
He's a
Thanks, Joe.
flat
I'm
earther, I'm sure.
Jaylee the Rover. I'm gonna send it straight to Corey because it's been many, many weeks since we haven't seen this guy's face.
He's
So
back.
Yeah,
he's back.
I am Corey the Stat Man. It is the first week. I think it's like been 4 weeks since we've all been together, and it's been 2 weeks since I've been here. And I wasn't totally honest with you guys. It wasn't that I was tired. It's that I could not afford my internet bill after my vacation, so I couldn't get on Zoom to do this with you guys. I had no internet.
Is that all
So
that's left of your house? Is just that wall? You're like, I need to save
yeah,
that wall at least
yeah.
Are you
after
saying
the fifth
I
are
can't
you
mortgage.
turn the
saying
camera
Disney's
on.
expensive?
It's a little pricey, especially
It's
for what
not.
you get.
It's not expensive.
That's true. They have to pay for all the Rise of the Resistance upkeep.
Dude, let's talk about that sometime.
I've never ridden it, so you're gonna have to
What?
enlighten me.
Oh my God. All right,
My
we'll move
kids
on.
aren't tall enough.
Oh wow, dude.
Put
It's
him on your shoulders.
legit.
That's true. Yeah, is that two
I mean,
kids in a
Corey's
trench
only
coat?
3'7",
Yeah,
what, 61 pounds, so his
true.
kids are catching him. All righty, guys. So we're gonna kick right off here with the rankings. Last week had a pretty good shakeup. And then we've seen nine teams get votes again today. So let's just jump right in. Sticking at number one, back-to-back weeks now. Philadelphia Phillies. So just say that out there
Philadelphia.
because it's the no big surprise there. They're clicking on all cylinders. Number two, I think they're number two last week as well. The Yankees coming in hot.
Hmm.
Soto's just doing everything. Number three,
Pitching too?
Mm-hmm.
he might as well be.
He
Okay.
just started since you've been gone. He just picked that
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Since you've been
Since you've been
gone,
gone.
I
Okay.
No,
can't
no.
breathe for the first time.
I was thinking of the old school Since You've Been Gone. The one that was on
Kelly
the Guardians of
Clarkson.
the Galaxy. Since you've been gone, since you've been gone, I can. Okay, keep going.
I don't know
All
what
right,
you're talking
Dodgers
about.
three. So I think those top three all stay the same. Baltimore number four, which I think they've been in the rankings almost every week, I think. And things get interesting in the five spots. We got a three-way tie here. Getting four votes apiece are the Guardians, the Braves, and Kansas City. The Guardians got a single second place vote to give them the 4 points. Braves got 2/4. Kansas City got a fourth and 2/5. So all that equals up to a big fat tie. Brewers and Twins also got some down votes, but
I
did
don't
not
believe
make the top
anything that just
five.
came out of your mouth as far as how that got calculated, but
Why not?
I it just somewhere you lost me in there.
Guardians got a second place vote thanks to Joe
You don't
Otwell.
need to say it again
Well,
because they're going to
then
win the Central by 15, obviously.
that's I don't know. Twins are coming. Twins coming in hot. So let's just talk
Kansas City's there.
rankings. Pick a team, a town that you want to talk about. Why you put them, where you put them.
I actually had the Dodgers, I think, second over the Yankees. just because I think their underlying numbers are better, and I'm all about underlying numbers. And then everything else I was
Ever since I've
pretty,
known you.
yeah, that's the one thing that actually the other thing I'm known for is that I always know where the batteries go in toys. That's what my son told me today because something wasn't working.
That's a
Um,
good dad trick right there.
so that's gonna I'm putting that on my resume. I'm very good at figuring out where the batteries go.
Hmm.
Um, but I think everything else is pretty inoffensive to me. I think mine was Phillies, Dodgers, Yankees, Braves, Royals. I just think the Royals are a better team than the Guardians, even though the Guardians are in first. Um, they're at least more fun to watch, and that accounts for something to me.
Speaking of
And
the
Salvi
Royals,
Perez, baby.
man, you stole my name.
Sorry.
That's an Omega lol if I ever heard of one. Salvador Perez. We watched him last year. He looked washed.
doesn't have to catch as
Um,
much.
how I'm looking at their team. They're winning with pitching, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Seth
Okay.
Lugo and Michael Waka.
Waka waka.
Bobby
Yeah.
Witt and Salvi hitting everybody home.
That's all I got
All
to add. Yeah.
right. Jared, who you want to talk about? You want to highlight there?
I think we all jumped on the team that I wasn't going to talk about, which is the Royals. So kudos to the Royals. Maybe we should have put them a little bit higher than where we put them. Um, but yeah, I mean, the Phillies are just destroying everything right now. And of course, it helps when you got the looks of Bryce Harper on your team, right, Corey?
That's true. Yeah, I think
Thank God
that's
you're back because I can finally talk about it with someone on the pod.
I think his looks above replacement is I think he's leading the league
High.
pretty handily.
Mhm.
I might add.
What's the
Did they
abbreviation for
just
that?
Lar. Like what is what kind of question is that?
I'll just see if you cut us up, but okay. Just went very matter of fact. I got you. I
Yes, he's
like it.
a
I like the parody. We've had a lot of teams jumping in and out. Uh, rankings all moved up. I'm surprised the Twins only got that one vote. Um,
Aren't they still in third?
but they've won 17 out of 20. Like it's still
They're
kind of
still in
early.
third.
Quarter of the
and
season's gone. I mean, right now they had a horrible first 2 weeks of the season, and they've been one of the best teams since. But yeah, Baltimore got a fifth, Kansas City got two fifths, and the Twins got a fifth. So a lot of
how
parity
did they
down
win
there. It's gonna be
17
fun.
out of 20 when they're 5-5 in their last 10?
And they've lost a couple more since then.
Math ain't
Seven,
mathing.
17 out of 22. My
This
bad,
this is the guy keeping track of our rankings
dude.
points too.
Yeah, this is great. I got it all on here on paper. You want to look
That
at it?
doesn't mean anything. I could write anything on. I can take a dump
I
in a
know.
box and mark it guaranteed. I've
Twins
got the
are
time.
20 out of 17 in the last 14 games, guys. They're on fire.
That adds
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
Yep, I
Yeah.
thought it
that
did.
checks out.
I'm glad
Uh-huh.
Corey's back too. Stats are hard when you're old.
You,
Uh,
Well,
are you
we
glad
are.
because you're glad
Go,
because he's back because we just the stats you told me and Joe were like, yeah, that sounds good, and we just let it fly. Then Corey's like, wait
well,
a minute.
yeah, I'm wondering how
Corey
accurate the
questions
trivia
me.
was. Like, did you actually know the answers to the trivia questions, or did
The
you just make
trivia
those
was
up too?
accurate. There was some debate on the way I worded the Cardinals franchise team name. So,
Hmm.
You didn't
but
put
other than that,
greatest in front of it.
How
yeah,
many
I
rings
knew.
are
I
there
said what
again?
I
I
said.
forgot.
I said what I said. So we're going to do something fun tonight. We don't have a mystery GM coming today, so spoilers there. But we wanted to
Or
check
do
in.
we?
Oh, boom, boom, boom.
Corey's been gone
Um,
long enough, so
yeah,
practically
Yeah,
this is
yes.
the
I'm
mystery
pretty much
GM
here.
here
How did I hear about Rake Your Position? Well, um,
for
mostly,
3 years.
yeah. Let's move on.
I'll wait for that story, man.
We talked about it for 3 years, and finally,
We
I
did
don't
it.
know. Like we started too late last year, I think, but so I think we started on opening day or something like that with no real.
Real close.
Yeah, we could have used a little bit more foresight there, but
Look how much we've improved.
Yeah, we're on top of this, guys. Numbers are accurate. The flow's
Viewership is
quick.
flowing.
it's consistent, I think, at least.
No way of knowing. So we wanted to check in. It's the quarter mark of the season. We wanted to check in on our predictions. Another testament to the quality of this pod is our prediction ability. So we're
Oof.
we're gonna look at our predictions in light of how things are going, and then take some mulligans and nominate our first quarter award winners. So we're gonna go to the NL first. Corey, give us a breakdown real quick of who we had NL
Boy,
prediction wise.
there's
We
maybe
don't
two
have to.
people on this list that have a chance here. So for the NL MVP, I had Trey Turner. Jared had Bryce Harper. Joe has Mookie Betts. Looking pretty good, Joe. Joe's watching a video. Uh,
Stop playing. Why does it do this?
the,
Onlyfarmers.com kick in there?
we're
What's that?
we're only getting better every time, guys. We
Baseball
got videos
reference
playing
is
in the
like
background.
here's a Chevy.
Uh, Aaron had Ronald Acuna for the MVP, and then
Lol.
Cy Young is we don't even have to talk about it if you guys don't want to.
Let's do
I
it,
had
man.
AJ Puck, and you three all had Spencer Strider, so that's on the up
Woof.
and
Wah,
up
wah,
there.
wah.
Obviously, you can't predict injuries, and AJ Puck also got injured, and that's the reason that he's not in consideration
You
anymore.
could
It has
predict
nothing
his
to
injuries,
do
though.
with his stats.
He was doing
Um,
so good before he got injured.
yep, he was. It's a just a real bummer. Rookie of the year, I had Dylan Cruz still in the minors. Jared had Paul Skeens, pretty good debut. Joe had Kyle Harrison, and Aaron had James Wood. So
James Woods.
James, no, James, no S, just Wood.
One Wood.
One Wood, one tree.
James Uno Wood.
You
So
get
we
you
are
get more than one.
we have one possible MVP candidate out of 4 tries. Our Cy Youngs are out the window. And between the 4 rookie of the year candidates, our 4 options have played 4 games.
Yeah,
My guy started 9 games.
Oh, nine. Okay. So we're up to 10.
I think if Trey Turner again didn't get hurt, he's in the conversation. But
Yeah.
he got
Yeah, and
hurt.
if I had ultimate supreme skills, I would be in the conversation.
I would
That's
hope so.
true.
Yes.
So let's talk about some ultimate supreme skills here. I was looking at who would get the MVP award right now if the awards were handed out. I highlighted 4 people, and going into this, I thought it was clear cut. 2, and then a third guy, and then this fourth guy jumped out at me. So we'll see what you guys think. 2 DHs got to be in the conversation. Shohei Ohtani obviously is hitting out of his mind right now. Apparently, when he's not worried about pitching at all, he's arguably the top 5 hitter in the league. Wherever you want to put him there, he's leading in all the rate stats, batting average, OPS, slugging, all that stuff. He's just doing it all, and he's stealing bases. The other DH that's got to be in the conversation, I think, is Marcell Ozuna. I've been making fun of him nonstop, but he's leading the league in homers, leading the league in RBIs, and the rest of the Braves, if you look at their stats, are atrocious right now. So the fact the Braves actually have a better record at this point than they did last year, with Acuna under 700 OPS, Olson flirting with 200 batting average, Riley hurt, Albies hurt for a while, Murphy hurt. Uh, the Big Bear's got a big back, and he's carrying the Braves' load there. So I think he's got to get in the conversation. But I think those 2 guys, because they are DHs, really aren't realistic choices. So Betts switching to shortstop, leading the league in WAR. He's actually handling defense just fine. He's hitting everything that Ohtani and Ozuna are hitting while playing shortstop. So it's impressive. But I'm actually, and it surprised me, and maybe it's because I
Here we
always try to
go.
find a way not to give
Here
the
we
Betts.
go. Oh, his
Go,
name's Ellie De
go
La
look.
Cruz.
No, no. Go look up William Contreras' stats and what he's doing carrying the Brewers by himself while catching. If there's a position where offense matters just as much as shortstop, I think it's behind the plate. Contreras is top 4 in just about every hitting category with those 3 guys, and yet he's doing it catching and with no help. So for me, MVP has always been value. Betts' team is loaded. Contreras' team is not. But I know a lot of people vote like it's the best overall player, and that would be Betts. So I'd be okay with Betts or Contreras, but I think Contreras is the most valuable at the moment. So those are my four guys. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on any of those
That's
suggestions.
weird. That's weird. The most valuable player you always look for value in. That's interesting criteria that you have.
Not everybody
I'm, ki-
does that.
I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
I would say most people don't.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'll
You
just
wrote
say
something down. You were just showing it to us.
Yeah. What'd you have right now?
You said, "Oh, there's," unless you made that up. You
You
said, "Oh,
you
there's my
said you
awards."
lead it, but
Oh,
I'll
I mean the
contribute.
guy I picked at the beginning of the season was Betts, so I guess I'll stick with that because we
Oh,
got a
Yeah.
you
thousand.
just you found your predictions that you wrote down.
Yeah.
We had $1,000 on that bet, so I'll keep that. Who'd you guys have?
Who did you make that bet with eBay? I
Ooh,
don't. I
eBay?
think he might be
No,
out
I
of
got some
commission.
Legos on there though. If you want to check them out.
on
Oh,
eBay. eBay.
eBay. Oh, my bad.
This is the
Yeah, I
dumbest
mean
thing that we have ever done.
Betts is the media darling too. He's in LA, so
And
he's going to be front contender.
he switched from something that requires not a lot of ability and skill to something that
Not
requires
doing
the
this
most.
again. This is 4 weeks in a row we've talked about this.
All right, so
I'm
Betts
not.
just fell out of the MVP race for me after that comment. Moving on to their Cy Young Award winners, as Corey boldly predicted, AJ Puck. The rest of us had Strider, so none of those guys are options.
I still
I
feel good
was
about my pick.
I was looking at three guys that changed teams, and the more I looked at it, a fourth guy that I hadn't thought about um, rose to the top. So the four guys that I just was highlighting, um, we got Tyler Glass now, which I kind of roasted at the beginning of the year, and yet he's leading the league in Ks. He's staying healthy. His ERA is 2.57. His FIP is actually 2.48. So he's been a little unlucky,
What's
but
his dip?
well, he's
Wintergreen long cut, what I heard.
that
And
what
what's
it
his
is?
LAR?
Yeah, what's his LAR?
I mean, it's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Looks
He's
a lot
got the
like Cillian
flow.
Murphy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's got
looks a
the
lot like
flow.
Scarecrow, so that's kind of weird. So yeah, he's got to be in the conversation. I had and he's pitch old face new team. I had Ronaldo Lopez also in the conversation. His innings pitched is a little bit low, but he's got a 1.34 ERA and a 2.96 WHIP. So maybe we just picked the or FIP.
I think
Sorry,
you switched those around. He does
he
not
has
have a
a.
2.96 whip because that would be too much.
I meant FIP.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sorry. 1.34 ERA and a 2.94 FIP. So he's been a little extra lucky, but still a 2.94 would be nice. And with Strider hurt, it's been nice to have him. And then Shoto Imanaga, which was a nice pitching duel between Lopez and Imanaga the other day.
Lol.
Uh,
Get over
Im-
yourself.
Imanaga throws 92 straight down the middle and nobody can touch it. It's impressive. Uh,
Yeah.
his his whip is under one. He's got a 0.96 ERA right now, and he has a 4.30 ERA plus. He is rated four times better than any major league pitcher right now, which is insane. All that to say, I ended up going with Ranger
Good job, Corey.
Suarez and gave Shoto my rookie of the year at the quarter mark. So they both get an award because Ranger Suarez is right there. He has a 0.76 whip. That's amazing. A 1.37 ERA, 2.6 FIP. So all four of those guys, rate wise, are all together. Do you like strikeouts? You go Glass now. Do you like limiting base runners? You got to go Suarez. So I give Suarez a Cy Young so I can give Shoto the rookie of the year so far. So they both get something.
Well, you're wrong.
You
Fair enough.
End of argument.
or Aaron, you had said I don't even know who you were referencing, but you had said this old face on a new team. I didn't know if you knew of anybody with a new face on an old team.
A new face on old team. I mean, you could shave a beard, get a
Yeah.
haircut.
Anybody that goes
No
to the Yankees,
no
that's an old
specific
team.
examples.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah. Go to the Yankees, you get a new
Yeah,
face.
Alex Verdugo.
Yeah,
Not
Harrison
his
Bader.
Alex Verdugo. I don't get mad at me. Your LAR pretty low.
His LAR went
Is
far.
yeah, the Yankees league the lead in LAR lost.
Yeah. Every offseason.
Yeah.
It's rough.
As we close this out, I just wanted to talk real quick, get you guys' thoughts. You guys are all NL Central fans. I was looking at other rookie of the years. I think every team, except for maybe the Reds, has a front runner for NL Rookie of the Year coming out of the NL Central. A lot of young talent there. I didn't know Mason Wynn is top 10 in WAR right now, getting on base, playing good defense and running. Of course, Jared Jones has been lights out there in Pittsburgh. The sub one whip as a rookie, which is nice. Michael Bush has held down first base offensively, maybe not defensively, but offensively, he's looking like a first baseman. Joey Ortiz, the Brewers got for that Corbin Burns trade. I think he's primarily playing second, but he can bounce around the infield, and he's almost got one WAR already as well. So a lot of fun young guys in the Central that I
It's been
have
a pretty
watched.
bad division, so I it's nice to see that. I mean, and you'd expect to see that out of bad teams. They get an influx of young players.
Mhm.
You mentioned least valuable player, and I have one for the American League. Did you come up with anybody for the National League?
Um, I mean, I'll say Acuna right now, but at least he's scoring runs.
I mean, is he? I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Well, considering he's gone from a 1,000 OPS to a 690 OPS. That's he's getting on base, stealing stuff. He's just not driving the ball. It's weird.
Okay. I don't like that answer either, but it's okay.
No, I did not dive in at least valuable. I
Mhm.
didn't think we were doing that for sure, so that's my fault. I'll
That's
say
fine.
Paul Goldsmith. I mean, not to pick on the Cardinals, but he's on the struggle bus big time.
Probably pick anybody on the Cardinals lineup and be a
Just
good
not
answer.
doing anything. So let's
Oof.
say NL awards.
Yep. All right. We will recap the AL unless anybody else has anything to add. Three, two, one. Okay. MVP for the AL, I had Byron Buxton. Whoopsie. Jared had Juan Soto. Joe had Juan Soto, and Aaron had J-Rod. Cy Young. I'm pretty happy about this one. I had Tariq Skubal.
It's a good
Jared
one.
had Garrett Cole.
Woof.
Oopsie. Joe had George Kirby, and Aaron had Corbin Burns. Rookie of the Year. Get your wolf ready, Jared.
Hmm.
I had Wyatt Langford. Jared had Jackson Holliday. Joe had
Woof.
Evan Carter, and Aaron had Wyatt Langford also. Um, Jared, you and I are both tackling this. Do you want to just kind of give your guy and I give my guy, and then we can talk about others?
For who we think our MVP is currently,
Yes. Yeah.
I like my pick. I'm not
I've
going off
already
of that
forgotten
pick.
what I said.
Juan
Juan
Oh,
Soto.
Juan
Soto.
Soto. Okay.
Um, I like that one a lot. I think there's a few other people that we could discuss, but I'll wait to counter your point with what you're going to bring to the table. But for now, I like my pick with Juan Soto. I think he's only going to keep getting better.
It's a good pick. I don't have a definitive answer here. I would lean towards Kyle Tucker with the Astros, which I know just makes you want to throw up in your mouth.
I didn't even know they
Uh,
were a team still.
yeah, Walker, Kyle Tucker, Ranger. Um, Mostly he's got a 1.0 OPS, and I think he is like one of the things that is keeping that team treading water. And if you're talking about value, I think that's there. The other two
Treading
guys,
water at the almost bottom of the division.
Behind Oakland.
but I think that like
That's
they're a
wild,
team
man.
that can climb pretty quick, and I think Kyle Tucker has kept them where they are at, which
Hmm.
is bad. Like they could be much worse if Kyle Tucker
A-
was much worse.
Anybody want to take some odds that they make the AL championship?
Yeah, I'll take that
I'm
odds.
I have two other guys I'm going to mention, but Aaron, would you like to step in here?
So by your reasoning, is Ozuna your NL MVP?
No, because Ozuna's a bad person. Um.
And
Anyways,
it
He
and
has
if
not
you're
cheated on the World Series.
and if you play DH, you can't win MVP.
that's true. Which the other two guys I was going to mention I think are a very close 2A and 2B are Gunnar
I'm high
Henderson and
on
Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah.
Um, their offensive stats aren't as good as Kyle Tucker's, but they do play shortstop and they play it in a very exciting way. Um, I would give the edge, I think, so to Bobby Witt, just because again, if you're talking about value, I think he's a little bit more valuable to the team than Gunnar Henderson. But anyway, Kyle Tucker, those two other guys. Juan Soto's a good choice. Um, do you have any counters?
I was a fan of you being back until you mentioned Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think
Joe,
Now
can
that's
that
you
you
the
said
kick him
him,
out?
only
I'm just kind of like, eh.
I can, yeah.
Astro I think I'm going to talk about.
I'm looking
Yeah,
up
no, I
Tucker.
agree with the Bobby Witt thing for sure. I mean, offensively, like you said, I think he's only got 5 homers, but he does have 15 stolen bases already. Um, and is playing lights out at shortstop defensively. I think he's making a highlight play almost every night. So, yeah, I mean,
His
Gunner's good too, though. So, but I would give the slight edge to Bobby for sure.
well, then I think
But Kyle,
we can go ahead.
go ahead.
I was going to say we could give it to Bobby, but since we can kind of agree on that,
Um, we
but
can, but I definitely wouldn't give a vote to Kyle Tucker. That's my counterpoint.
I know you wouldn't. Did you guys see where he caught a pop up after he ran what it seemed like I think like 3 miles, or something like that, but it was crazy.
Must have been playing in one of our ballparks.
Was
Yeah.
there not a left fielder?
It
Hey,
was
that
in
He
bus
caught it
Buckhead.
route, you
right in
got to
front of the
run
left
way
fielder. I
in
don't
to
know
get
what
over
the
that
left
right
fielder was
field.
doing.
Yeah. Um,
Was he out there with you, Corey? Because I've been there.
yeah.
Matt
I was
Holiday.
a I mean, I move. I just might not move to the right spot.
No, he didn't move. That was the point.
Uh, I moved that one time when you got hit in the head because I was right next to you.
You were right
If it would have
there.
bounced the other way, I probably could have caught it.
That's what I was
But
trying to do.
you angled your head the wrong direction. Um, uh, all right. Moving on to the Cy Young. If you as you liked your pick before, I like my pick now. Rick Skubal. He's got a .857 whip. So Joe, he's your favorite pitcher in
No,
Major League
my
Baseball right now.
no, my guy's still my favorite. But continue.
I don't know who your guy is. Oh, George Kirby. Okay. Um, but also just like good strikeouts, good ERA, winning, a lot of good stuff happening. There's a lot of guys in this conversation that it's just absolutely ridiculous that they're here. Which also I don't want to ruin Jared's thunder if he's gonna choose one of those guys. But
Go for it. I'll just piggyback off you.
okay, well, the actual leader in pitching WAR in the American League is Seth Lugo, as we all expected.
Hmm.
He's actually tied with Eric Fetty, who has more WAR this year than he does in his career, which means he had negative career WAR going into this year. So the top of your leaderboards there are, AL Central juggernauts, Seth Lugo and Eric Fetty. Um, and then Ronald Blanco, poor guy,
Cheater.
he was
You
doing great.
mentioned another Astro. You said you weren't going to talk about anymore.
That's true, I did, but it's about cheating, so I feel like that's okay.
We'll allow it.
Okay. But yeah, I love Turk Skubal. I'm gonna stick with that, even though he might not be leading. I hate to say his track record is better than the other guys because none of them have really much of anything. But he I think has the highest upside out of the guys I've mentioned. So I would like to think that he can keep it going and bring it
He's the
home.
most likely to keep it going.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you. I think that nails it for sure. I mean, Seth Lugo, he's playing out of his mind. I don't see that can train happening all season. I mean, I hope it does. That'd be good for him and good for the Royals, but uh, I just don't. I don't see it happening. Prove me wrong, Seth. If you ever listen to this, prove me wrong.
Yeah. Come on and tell us why we are dumb.
Yes.
I like Kirby. He's kind of mirroring last year and has .9 walks per 9.9. Um, Somehow that's not leading the league. I wonder who is leading the league in walks per nine and what the minimum requirements there are, but
I can tell you if you give me a second.
one. And lost 3 games. His ERA is a little bit high, but I'm guessing he's had some bad luck on some of these.
It is Zach Eflin with .679
Zac
walks per night.
Efron.
Eflin.
Heard
Have you guys watched Iron Claw? Speaking
I
of Zac
have not
Efron?
yet.
Ah,
it's
it's
good.
good. You guys would love it
Mm-mm.
because that's your thing. I
Mm,
thought it was good and it's not my thing.
cool. I like wrestling.
Thanks for
Yep.
that tip.
Well, I just, talk about Zac
Is
Efron.
is Goldberg in it?
No.
What's
Not
Zac
interested.
Efron's lar?
In the
Mm,
Iron Claw, it is astonishingly low.
for your
Um,
post
Uh,
operation on his jaw.
and then like High School Musicals with Zac Efron also pretty low. Like I think there's like, it's not a good look for him. I don't know when it would be high, but I've not liked his looks in those two things that I can remember right
how's
now.
his glutes?
Uh, in the Iron Claw, probably pretty
Top
good. I
tier.
think all of them were pretty good. Jeremy Allen White's were also good. And then the other guy, don't know his name, the other brother that they really focused on. Uh, Anywho, um,
Got Corey distracted.
how
Yeah, you brought up glutes.
and you
Mhm.
talked about Zac Efron, and you guys like this is like half a wrestling podcast most of the time, so might as well talk about the Iron Claw. On to the Rookie of the Year. I didn't. I'm not as excited really about AL rookies as I am with NL rookies. So, Jared, if you've got a guy that you'd like to talk about, I welcome you to talk about it because nobody's
Nope.
really jumping off the page for me.
Nope.
I think the most fun to watch is Mason Miller. I don't know if you give it to a closer.
Heck, if he's dominating like him, might as well.
That's true. I think either of these guys, either of the outfielders that we picked on the Rangers, if they have a good last 3 quarters of the season, White Langford is fun to watch when he's fast. Not faster than you thought, or I thought. I don't want to put words in your guys' mouths. And then who knows? I mean, anybody in the Orioles could come up and have a great. I know Colton Cowser's in the conversation, and if
Yeah,
Jackson
probably
Holiday comes up,
probably Jackson Holiday, yeah.
um,
Do you
but
think? I know this jumps back to the NL, but you think Skeens runs away with it now that he's up?
He's got to outdo his teammate Jared Jones first, and Shoto was a rookie technically, so
yeah,
Technically.
it'd be tough to catch both those guys. The head start they've had.
it looks like betting odds have Mason Miller. Well, Mason Miller or Colton Cowser as
I'll
the
say it's got to be
leaders.
Cowser right now. Would be my
Yeah,
thought.
I think he's cooled off pretty considerably though in the past couple weeks. But yeah, not as interesting as of a crop over there in the AL. Um, and I do have a least valuable player, and it was my Christmas gift to the Detroit Tigers.
Uh-oh.
It is
Mm,
Javier Baez, whose OPS looks like a slugging percentage. It is 422 OPS
That's
for
a
Javier
bad slugging
Baez.
percentage.
It is, he's got negative zero point 0.8 WAR in a quarter of a season. So I'm sorry, Tigers. I wished you a competent Javier Baez, and you are not getting it. And I don't know why.
Call Corey Krampus.
Yeah, he's a lot of
How
fun
do
to
you
watch when he was
did you
wearing
say
the.
confident or competent?
Uh, I would assume probably both. I imagine his confidence right now is at an all-time low. Um,
I was gonna say if it's confidence, you technically don't know what his confidence is, but competence, yeah, that seems to be lacking.
like his strike zone recognition competence, I think, is kind of the big one that is lacking.
I think we've all seen those reels where it's like watching Alfonso Soriano swinging a slider again. I don't know. That's what I think of. It's
Yeah,
like
I
and
love
it's
the
just.
overlays with Javi Baez and like the worst first pitches like 50 Cent.
Mhm.
And Javi's swinging at it.
I just don't know what happened to him.
He got
Um,
paid.
he's a lot of fun to
Yeah.
watch, and now he's not. But
He's a lot of fun to watch on YouTube.
that's fair.
still gets the views.
All right, so there we go. Those are the awards we meant to predict 2 months ago. So,
We'll change them again in 2 months from now.
yes, the halfway point. So jump in the conversation, text us, Facebook us, YouTube us, Smoke Signal, whatever, to share your thoughts on who you think are the quarterly award winners to date as the first quarter of the season has wrapped up. With that, everybody's favorite segment is back by
Dun, dun, dun,
unpopular
dun.
demand.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
So
Start a stopwatch.
this is,
9:38 timestamp.
don't tell people what time it is. They'll be able to coordinate where we're at.
I didn't say AM or PM or time zone.
You can just ask Aaron's neighbors too.
Yeah, don't look out Aaron's black windows. Um, okay, yeah, so this is gonna be a semi-short episode of Appreciate or Reinstate. I talk slow, I'm sorry. Can't say. So
Mm-mm.
Don't
this
say
brings
it.
us back to some things that used to be in the game. And do we, why is there so much laughing?
It's been 3 minutes and
Do
you haven't even said appreciate or reinstate yet. Nobody even
and
knows what the segment is. I set it
so
up on a tee and you just let it fall.
so this is Appreciate or Reinstate, where we look at some
Woo!
things that used to be a part of the game and we decide, do we appreciate that they used to be a part of the game and no longer are, whether that's by an official rule change or maybe just the way of the times changing. Or do we, through massive social media influence, try to get these things reinstated back into the game? So today, and I'm not even sure, we may have already looked at this. So, viewers, fellow pod members, I know we've
Oh
talked about
no.
it. I know we've discussed how these things used to happen, but I kind of had this idea, and then I seen a day or two ago, it was the 1 year anniversary of a particular play that's been pretty famous. That happened, oh, I don't know, probably 6, 7 years ago now. So with all that said, I'm gonna pull up for our viewers. I'm gonna pull up just a short PowerPoint here for our listeners. I'll walk you through it. So if you can see the screen right now, you're gonna see what's his first name? Jose Batista.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Batista sliding into, I can't say that guy's name. What's the other guy's name?
Rugden.
Rugden. Rugden Odor.
Rugned.
That's
Rugned
what I said.
And his brother Rugned.
So, so
odor.
the topic of the day is breaking up the double play at second base. Have we talked about collisions? I mean, we've talked about coming in from the Raptors with bats and tigers, so we probably talked about collisions at some point. But I think we all know that there used to be some breaking up of the double play, and there was an official rule change. I found a web page that has like 150 years of the official rule changes. Oh man, we we got some content coming with that information in my brain that's been damaged through the years. We got some content coming. But anyway, so 2016, I believe they changed the rule, which um is kind of at your discretion, but it says something like you have to make a valid attempt to slide into the base. Um, So let's go through some pictures here. Let's talk about it. Let's beat it up. Do we want to put some more physical play back into the game and quit letting these easy double plays happen? Slowing down the offense, speeding up the game. So the anniversary here of this one when they got up and then Odor just bombisted Babista's face was pretty sweet. I'm gonna skip to my next slide here. And listeners, as we go through here, try to think back of maybe some plays you witnessed live. You've probably seen some plays on YouTube or somewhere where there's been some wild collisions at second base. The next one here, apparently, as I researched this, Hal McRae was crazy on the base pass. I mean, if you look at that one, it's on my left when he's a red. He's straight shoulder blocking the second baseman. He's not on the ground. He's not sliding. It's just a shoulder block. He's
I'd
maybe
like
half a
cross
step.
body check. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, speaking of that, I'd actually hit up our West Coast, what do you call those people that get information for you?
Correspondent.
Correspondent. And so we used to play this game. It was called SmackDown. Sometimes it was like SmackDown versus Raw, SmackDown 2018. What's another name, Aaron?
Oh man, SmackDown, anything, all of them are the best.
SmackDown. Well, there was one version where the cross body block just overtook all other moves, and you could just bounce off cross body block, and that's what Hal McRae here reminds me of. Our West Coast correspondent called it the most electrifying move in sports entertainment. Apparently, it fits both in the ring and on the field. Also, a couple more things about McRae. One, epic blow up when he was a manager. He starts throwing stuff around the office. I think he hits a guy in the face. This guy was apparently crazy. Also, he had a kid who played named Brian, and I had never stumbled across any of this. I always thought, which I don't know why, because baseball has such a long storied history, right? How am I doing on time? Oh, real good. So I always thought like the Amir Garrett, I got taken out of the game. I am now charging the dugout was like the first time it was the first time I'd ever seen that, heard about that. Well, Hal McRae's kid, who by the video it looked to be in the 90s. His name's Brian. He gets beamed at the plate, and he immediately look it up, everybody. He immediately sprints to the other dugout to try to find the coach. I mean, he's swarmed by nine guys, and he does nothing. But it was just, I mean, the balls you have to just straight sprint at a 20 guys sitting on the bench. Hilarious. And then I just had a couple more famous ones that I remember. We'll come back to that top left. But a couple famous Cardinal ones. There's one where Will Clark really overslides the bag and he then fights Willie McGee and Ozzie Smith. Matt Holliday, I think
That's just
that
him trying to slide. That's poor Matt. He doesn't know what he's doing.
no,
Me hit ball hard.
I think
Run straight.
he was one reason that they came up with that rule change because he would really take some guys out. And then there's a guy basically doing a flip down here for
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
Utley breaking Tejada's leg in the playoffs.
Mhm.
yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
really got the conversation going because of the moment.
as you
You
can
know,
tell, Matt Holliday's slide started once he made contact with the guy because the dirt isn't flying over the bag like it should
So,
be. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
Like
Yeah,
his slide definitely started once he made contact with the person.
yeah.
it's back to that most electrifying move in sports, the cross body block. The one in the top left was not breaking up a double play. That was just when what's his name slid under Anderson last year.
That's Jose, isn't it?
the best
I
third
think so.
baseman in baseball.
Oh
What's
yeah,
his name?
except the time that I pick him up on my fantasy team 4 years ago and he was awful. But then he decided
Never
to
forget.
completely knock him out. So
Do you have more pictures? Because I really feel like you missed an opportunity here of a particular event.
Yeah, you don't have the best one yet.
Yeah. Do you have more
Monday Heat
pictures?
Talk.
No, it's
Um, n- no, this is all. I mean, there was a bunch. There's a bunch I came across. Which one are you guys thinking of?
it's
Albert
a
Bell.
yeah, Albert Bell and Fernando Vina.
Oh,
Mhm, mhm.
I did. All I thought was right at the base.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
it's about halfway to second.
Yeah. I'm watching it
yeah.
right now, man. It's great.
And a
It's
roided up
outrageous.
Bell just launches Vina.
Nobody gets thrown out. They're just like, all
Yeah,
right, let's move on.
Bell
Well,
just turned around and walks off.
I feel like Vina was like, I should probably be a man and fight this guy, but good Lord, look how large he is.
Yeah,
Good choice,
yeah.
Fernando.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good one to remember.
Yeah.
But
Just
let me go ahead
nuts.
and I'll stop that share. So yeah, that had been on my mind. And then when I saw the Batista thing. I'm like, well, let me throw this together. And then looking up the rule changes, I'm glad I did that. Um, maybe maybe not as many rule changes as you think throughout the years, or maybe way more. Well, foreshadowing
One or the other.
to get or or you know exactly how many rule changes we've had. So there's three
So,
options.
I suppose that's true. You're right. I'm
Um,
wrong.
so so I know this will really hold and bring in a lot more listeners. You know, we're gonna have some more content on some baseball history. What are you guys' thoughts? Should we reinstate a little more physicality to the game? Let them break up them double plays because it's kind of ridiculous. They just kind of walk over there and let them throw it over to first. That's what some people say. I'm not saying that's what I say. Listeners, what do you think? Corey, what do you think?
I will appreciate it and leave it in the past. We
You're
are riddled enough by injuries. We don't need to have more people hurt. Like you're not, you want to go, if you're going to a game, you want to see, I don't know,
collisions.
whoever's playing second base. You want to see the Roger Hornsby, this year's Rogers Hornsby playing second base. Um, I get it. It's fun and
So
exciting, but also if that guy gets hurt, like imagine if it was Chase. I'm not that there's anything against Ruben Tejada. Imagine if like Chase Utley was the guy who broke his leg or something like that. Like I think it's a bigger deal just because he's a more well-known player and what would be considered a more valuable player. Um, and if he's not there and you don't get to see him play, like you're gonna be bummed about that. And I'm sure people were bummed that they didn't get to see Ruben Tejada play too. But just saying, it, Buster Posey got hurt and the rule changed. Like if you see these high-profile guys get hurt, things are gonna happen. Um, I don't know.
so
I don't
what
want
do
more
you
injuries than we
think?
already have.
Yeah, what do you say to that faction of people who point to what they believe are a lot of hamstring and leg injuries of people pulling up on second base and not going in all the way? That would outweigh the amount of injuries that come from the collisions.
I
You
think
could
people
still collide if you slide normally into the bag. You just they don't allow you to slide to the side. It used to be you could slide wherever you want as long as you could touch the bag. If you slide straight in, you can still plow the guy if he's in the way. Um, I've seen Matt Olson flip shortstops over a couple times, but he's going right into the bag. You can't slide super late like Holiday. You can't reach out and touch it 7 feet away with the tip of your finger as you're rolling into center field. Um, so you still could slide. I miss guys like Ozzy and those type of acrobatic double play turns. We don't quite see as much of that with the crazy slides. And I wish we could reinstate that somehow. I don't know how to do that. I think the sliding way after the bases is ridiculous. But I'm okay if you can slide to the side and make the middle infielders work a little bit. We got bigger bases too, so I wonder if you could reinstate sliding left and right a little bit more, but you got a bigger base to protect you, so you got more base to touch and get around it. So that'd be my thought. No late slides, but go crazy on the side to side.
What do you think, Jay Lee?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. I think there hasn't been an appreciate reinstate that I haven't said reinstate. And here's why. If we have these shortstops who claim to be the most athletic person on the field, they should be able to avoid every single slide that comes their way. And another point, if your teammate's giving you a bad feed, that's on them for you getting plowed over. Just saying. So I say bring it back. And who's to say that the person on second base, the second baseman or the shortstop, he's jumping up to avoid the tagging. He's coming down and you're getting a cleat in your leg or your thigh. Like the collision can go both ways. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Joe, as the middle infielder of the group, what is your opinion?
I
My
practice
opinion.
shortstop.
Sure, I did that in BP too.
Exactly. See, we're all middle infielders.
Yeah.
And
My
we're
opinion would be if you try to break it up in a nefarious way, you're banned from the league and your team loses the next 10 games. That's what my opinion would be. I'm not in favor of reinstating this.
There's a plot twist for you guys. Well, thank you,
But
Joe.
no, there's another plot twist. So the 2016 rule strictly said double plays. And I'm sure what I'm about to say next, there's no stipulation in any other rules that would prevent this. So all these people stealing bases, a lot of people getting caught stealing bases. Nothing in that 2016 rule says anything about breaking up the steal. So, I mean, why are we not going into second base like Pete Rose in the All Star game, baby?
Yeah, Joe's playing
What do you
chess and
think
everybody
about
else
that?
playing checkers here.
It's the Airbud rules here. You know, it doesn't say a dog can't play baseball.
I thought you were going to say, it does say break up triple plays, but you
Yeah.
went with the steal.
If they're trying to turn a triple play and they throw it to second, that
Dude,
guy's
Dan
getting just
Vogelbach's about to steal
jacked.
80 bags after he listens to this pod. He's not going to stop. He's just going to run right through the shortstop.
There you
Oh
go.
no.
Head on to third. I don't know,
Dude,
listeners. Let us know what you think.
you're on to something. I like it.
Per usual.
Well, thanks, Joe. That was a great to have another Appreciate Reed State from you. We're going to close out the pod the way we usually do with some predictions. So, Corey.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know what happened last week, but you guys probably did okay. Um, two and threes, three and twos,
Hey, the week
four
before
and
that,
ones.
Jared went 5-0 and I went 0-5. So we got to
Oh
get
yeah,
that on the
that's
record.
the one. All right, yeah. Well, just send me a picture of that, and we'll actually get it on the record. But we can go ahead and start this week's. I didn't update that. Why would I do that? With the Tigers at D-backs. I talked a lot about the Tigers today. And there's some D-backs fans here. I think, we got Tariq Skubal going to the first game, and then they probably win all the other ones too. So I'll take the Tigers here, just because of the momentum shift that you get from a Tariq Skubal game. Jared, Tigers, can you make a noise for me?
Rar.
Nice. There were baby tigers at the zoo the last time I went. Oh my gosh, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
They'll eat your face off.
You have Joe
Well,
Exotic
I
with you
was
too.
safely behind a fence. No, I didn't.
Let's get
Who's
him
that?
on the
Me?
pod. That'd be fun.
No, I'm good.
I
I'm
think we had
good.
to pay for that. I think we had to
Oh,
pay
he's
for his
got nothing
call.
going on right now.
I,
I'll pay
I
for
just
his
mean like his
collect call.
collect.
I'll pay
Yeah,
for it if we get Joe to call in. That'd be great.
I guarantee you they'll let him from
Joe, the
moving into
mascot
jail.
keeper. See, he's our mascot keeper.
all right, Joe, who you got?
Oh, I was looking at Jordan Montgomery here. Lol.
Yeah, how's he doing?
Um,
It's
Not good.
pretty average.
very average, 1.4 whip. So his ERA should probably be even higher than what it is. Let's go Tigers. They'll take 2 out of 3.
Really?
When do pitchers ever do well waiting until the season starts to sign? Has that ever worked out for anybody?
Man,
And they just keep doing it.
definitely can think of a lot of that doesn't.
Yeah. With that being said, yeah, Zach Gallen's the only matchup I like, so I'm gonna go Tigers.
I thought that was going to go the exact opposite. I don't know. It's like I haven't even talked to you guys in weeks.
I know. The
Um,
Diamondbacks train's let me down. It's slowing down at every stop.
we will move on to the Mariners at Orioles.
Man,
Wow.
that's a good matchup.
Well, that George Kirby, I mean, it's that win probability on that George Kirby game. I'm surprised it's that low. Um, yeah, it is a good matchup. I don't know how good. I don't know what John Means is up to these days, but um,
I think he's
he's like
pitching.
Up
maybe.
throwing the cowhides across the plate.
Excuse me, the
Go ahead.
pigskin. He's
The
throwing the
rawhides.
pigskin. He's
So
throwing
the
the
pigskins
pigskin
through
through
the
the
hoops.
hoops.
Yeah.
Playing
I'll take
Quidditch.
Yeah, he's giving the bludger an old whack. Um, but uh, that's a anyway, Jared. I don't know what I said, but I'm picking.
Yeah,
You
did you
definitely didn't
pick,
make your
Corey?
pick. Yeah.
No, I'll take the Mariners.
Or lowering off the charts.
Man. No, this is an easy pick for me.
What's your two
Um,
favorite teams? I guess. Your two correspondent teams.
yeah, I guess I got to ride high. Give me the Mariners.
Give me a
Nope.
second.
Oh my gosh.
Wearing a Baltimore shirt.
Yeah, I know I'm wearing their shirt, but I don't want to pick them.
What's their mascot's name?
Huh?
What's Baltimore's mascot's name?
Chirpy.
I hope it is.
Dude, I hope it is. I'll
Oh no, that's the Ravens. That's
quote the Raven, nevermore.
the Oriole bird.
So
That is
Chirpy it
Wow,
is.
Yeah.
come on, marketing
Dude,
team.
yeah, or
Sign
calling
me
him
up.
Chirpy.
On April 6, 1979, he hatched out of a
Did you
giant
pick
egg
a
at
team
Memorial
yet, or are you
Stadium.
looking up the
Oh
mascot
yeah,
fun facts?
Seattle.
What are we doing here?
I'm
Oh,
going
Dan Kirby.
Chirpy, man, all day. Chirpy
Uh,
beats Seaman.
Whoa. Excuse me?
Those Seattle Mariners.
Okay. An AL East matchup with the Rays at Blue Jays. Uh, Alec Manoah did awfully well his last start.
He's
Maybe
half the man he used to be.
that's probably good for him.
Like weight wise.
I think that was the joke.
Nice.
Yeah. Um, why are we here? I'm gonna take the Blue Jays.
Oh, finally we got a different pick. I'm taking the Rays.
I'm gonna take the team that doesn't have to fly. So who is that? That's
Well,
Toronto.
the Rays, I think, can't fly where Blue Jays do.
I mean, you could make a pretty good point that a ray flies very, very fast.
These rays do. They're sunlight rays, Corey,
Yeah,
not
idiot.
devil rays.
Did we talk about the
Wow,
City
dude.
Connects? Do you guys have any opinions on
We
those?
did.
Yeah, we did. I don't know. I mean, I don't know
We
if the
liked them.
group did.
No,
Oh,
we
you
did
guys
on the
did.
pod. Yeah.
Okay.
No, sorry, we liked the
Thanks for
app.
listening, Corey.
I listened to some of it.
Wow.
Golly.
Uh,
Oh my
I didn't have
goodness.
internet, guys. Aaron, who you taking?
Oh, I didn't say. I'll take the Rays.
Okay. Yeah, the hats are good. I don't. Everything's so dark with these City Connects.
It's like
Um,
that's what we said on the pod,
It's like you were there, Corey.
but you weren't.
maybe I did listen to these. These opinions aren't even my own.
Subliminal opinions.
Yeah. That was the name of my band in high school, actually.
A sweet name for a band.
I'd listen.
Dude, that's deep. Subliminal opinions. It's a lot better than Shark. Whoever picks that name. Wow.
Was that a group effort, or
Nope.
was that you?
It was
I
nope.
feel like I remember who it was. It was that
Yeah, it was,
lady, right?
yeah, it was church secretary
Oh,
at
okay.
Matt's church.
So it was nobody in the band.
Correct.
It's an old lady, I
She
assume.
wasn't old. It was shout out to Carmen Price if you're listening. I don't know if you guys know Josh Mooney or Justine Mooney. They're from Pleasant
No.
Hill. Their mom.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks for that.
There you go.
Although apparently you hate it, so
Well, we didn't. Yeah, that's another pod, but yeah, we didn't expect to still be playing 8 years later with that same name.
okay. Anyway, back to baseball, which is what you're all here for, and then maybe some wrestling in during the after show.
Hey,
Uh,
sharkband.tripod.com. It's still up.
Twins at Guardians. I'm gonna go with the not the hot hand here because I think the hot hand gets cold, and I'll take the Guardians. I mean, I guess they're in first, but they haven't won 17 of their last 22 and went 5-5 in their last 10. Or
That's right.
Jared, sorry, just fall asleep.
The Rails.
Shenanigans going on.
The Guardians.
Joe,
Minnesota's won 26 of their last 24, but I'm gonna go Cleveland.
What happens if both hands are hot? What happens next?
you need to take them out of the oven and close the door and put them under a cold faucet.
Yeah, call a doctor.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm calling doctor.
How long has it been? More than 4 hours?
And Bailey Ober sounds like actually Simeon Wood Richardson sounds like a good doctor name because doctors always have like multiple names. It sounds like so. Dr.
Does your
Simeon Woods
doctor have
Richardson reporting for duty. You
Does your
report for
doctor have
duty?
multiple names?
No comment.
Okay.
So I'm going to go Twins.
Sure. Whatever you say, man. Uh,
Mhm.
On to the Brewers and Astros, and I think we can probably just skip to Joe after I give my answer. Um, I mean, if you don't know who Spencer Arrighetti is yet, you're going to
Spencer
after this
Spaghetti?
series. I'm going to take the Astros.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, we don't have to make my pick. We know.
same.
And
Astros.
Jared's taking the
Brewers are a roll of a
Brewers.
team.
Brewers. Bryce Wilson back on top of his game
Was he
Former-
ever in the first place?
in AAA for the Braves.
But what's his LAR?
He's
He's
a
got decent LAR. He's got
No,
some
he
big
doesn't.
glutes too.
he's got
He's got some show flow to him.
he's got
He
some
got,
big somethings, that's for sure.
got some big walk numbers.
And it's not the walk he's taking with his own legs.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
He's not coming on anyway. Anyway,
No.
Hit
oh,
us
We're
up
calling
at
it for-
rakeyourposition@gmail.com or rake your position on
Yeah, Bryce,
X.
don't worry about coming. Corey's a jerk. Okay, bye.
uh, anyway,
All righty, give us a recap there before we sign off.
we all like the Tigers. All of us like the Mariners except for Aaron. Split on Rays and Blue Jays. All of us like the Guardians except for Aaron. And split on Astros Brewers.
All right, that speed round took 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Thanks
Hey,
to
hey,
Joe's 12-minute
before you sign
monologue.
us off.
No, that
Before you
was
sign
fast.
us off, I do have to give a shout out to the fans that we do have in Alabama that continue to listen, and that's the Cordies. Wyatt, it's 10 years old, made his traveling team on the USSSA Prime. That's big news.
That's awesome, dude.
That sounds really cool.
It is
Cooler
cool.
than anything I did.
So keep it up, Wyatt. I'm going to say it right here, the dude can play. Cordy has sent me videos. He's a pitcher, can play shortstop wherever you throw him. Great at batting. So whenever you make it big, Wyatt, don't forget about us here on the podcast at Rake Your Position.
And if I've learned anything, if you play shortstop, you can play all three outfield positions.
That's what I've heard.
Absolutely true.
All
Very
righty,
true.
man. Shout out to the Cordies. Pistol's finest. Until next time, don't forget to
Rake Your Position.
Rake your
break it up. Break it up.
Position.
Your position, Corey.